That was really enthusiastic. Hi! So I just wanted to say a big thank you. My DNA test heritage video did quite well, so I do have a few new subscribers, so hi, welcome. I'm Annie. And you know how like Taylor Swift's main genre of music is her singing about boys who didn't like her back or like fucked her over? I'm basically the Taylor Swift of YouTube, like. So this week's top comments are these two people, so thank you very much. Thank you for commenting, for liking, and just being you. And if you want to be in the next video, just comment something below, and if I choose you, you'll be in the next video. So I know I was supposed to upload on Friday, but quite honestly, I just wasn't very happy with how the video turned out, so I didn't want to like half-heartedly put something out there because I want you to enjoy what I put out there and I don't want to just upload for the sake of it. So I missed one upload day, but like I said, I'm gonna try and upload Tuesdays and Fridays. And the way that I kind of do my story times is I kind of just like tell them as I remember them. And today I remembered a story about a guy. It kind of like ruined my day because it just kind of got me really angry. So this happened in my second year of uni. I was working at Hollister at the time because I just needed some extra money. My student loan barely covered my rent, so I had to have a job to actually like afford to live. But like one thing I would recommend, even if you don't need the money and you just end up working like once a week, like it's such a good idea to get a job because you end up meeting people you wouldn't normally get to meet, and it just like expands your friendship group so much. So like even if you don't need the extra money, like who doesn't need extra money? Let's be serious. So through my job, I actually met one of my best friends at uni, Sophie, who I'm living with next year. And she was telling me how her friend who lived in our university town but went to a different university was coming to work at Hollister when he wasn't at uni, if that makes sense. So basically, whenever he came home from uni, he would come and work at our store. And she kind of told me how like he wasn't very good person and how she was dreading that he was coming to work with us because she wasn't really actually friends with him, but he didn't really have that many friends, so he kind of like just attached himself to her. She kind of felt like she couldn't really refuse him because he didn't have that many friends. Like he went to a boarding school, so all of his friends were kind of like from all over the country. And let's call him Brian. So Brian was the type of guy who grew up in a very strict household. His parents were devout Christians, so they would go to church and stuff like that, and he was this type of person who would have certain ideas of how men and women are supposed to act. He would complain about the fact that girls at university are slutty and not wife material and stuff like that. And like, I understand it from kind of like a Christian way of looking at it. Like the Bible says, like obviously save yourself for marriage. Like you do you, like if you want to be a sexist pig and talk about how it's not okay for girls to sleep around, but it's fine for guys to do it. Like he genuinely felt like it was fine for guys to do it and it was completely different when girls, you know, took charge of their sexuality and did whatever. But the thing that really bothered me was one time at work, he said a very homophobic thing to one of our co-workers who was gay. I don't even want to repeat what he said, but like you can probably kind of guess what he said. And he was the sort of person who kind of always tried to look big in front of the other guys working, so he'd always try and say these really outrageous things that ended up just being really offensive and just not okay to say. After I heard him say that word, I didn't even really want to know him. And to be fair, like we only ever had like at most 2 or 3 shifts together. We never really interacted with each other because I knew from Sophie telling me all about him and seeing for myself that he was kind of like a garbage person. So one day in like February time last year, he DMs me on Instagram and I'm really confused. Like we're work colleagues, we know each other, but we're not friends. So I opened the message, he sent me a meme, and like the thing about me is like I am the meme queen. Like if you want to send me memes, it has to be like top par, like top quality memes. And what he was sending me just wasn't good, I will judge you on your taste of memes. And I was judging him, like it was just really bad memes. Like you could tell that I didn't find them funny. Like it was literally just me going ha ha ha, and that was like the extent of my message. And the conversation never really evolved from that. Like it would literally be me giving him the driest answer ever, and then him the next day sending me another meme, and me again being like, ha, funny. And it would continue like that for like a couple days. And that's when I messaged my friend Sophie, because obviously she knew him. And I was like, really random, but Brian, did I call him, was his name Brian? Well, it is now. Brian is like messaging me, and it's really weird, like, do you know anything about this? And she was literally just like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. I met up with him a couple months ago, and he asked me to see if you were interested in him. And she basically goes on to tell me that like she knew that I wouldn't be interested in him, so she didn't really see any point in telling me, which is true, like it wasn't gonna be a thing. But I guess he kind of got like tired of waiting for her to ask me, and he just decided to shoot his shot and send me some memes. So she told me that he'd actually just broken up with his girlfriend, and she knew, like it was very obvious that he was kind of just looking for a rebound, and that's why he asked her to kind of like test out the waters with me. And obviously, like as my best friend, she's not gonna do that, you know? Also, a thing to note is the only reason why he broke up with his girlfriend was because, and I quote, we were going to break up anyway in 3rd year when we leave uni. Keep in mind, this was at the start of 2nd year. So he broke up with his girlfriend just because literally 2 years time, they'd have to break up anyway. So he was basically on the lookout for a rebound, and for some reason he chose me. And you know, he was quite like open about the fact to Sophie that what he wanted was a rebound. And just like thinking back, like why tell my best friend that? Like obviously she's gonna tell me. It's like me going up to a police officer and being like, hi officer, just to let you know, I'm about to go stab a whole lot of people with a knife. So yeah, but don't tell them. And then obviously when you're inevitably gonna get arrested, you go, oh my God, that's such a lie. Like I would never stab anyone. Like I don't know why you would think that. If you're gonna be a fuckboy and a terrible human being in general, just like at least be good at it. Sophie ends up going to visit some friends at a different uni who happened to be at the same uni that Brian was at, and they kind of had like mutual friends. So in the evening, she messages me and she's like, oh my God, like I'm at this pre-drinks with Brian and he's asking about you. And she's literally just like, he's asking if I'd talk to you and if you were interested and stuff like that. She had told him that I wasn't really interested. She kind of asked him like, you guys aren't really friends, you don't really know each other. Like, what's the point of you being at uni for most of the time anyway and her being back home? Like, what's the point? And he, oh my God, this makes me so angry. He literally says, oh, I just want to have her for the summer. Another thing I want to add is him and his ex-girlfriend just got back together, so he had a girlfriend. So when he said, I just want her for the summer, he was literally going to have a girlfriend at university, gonna break up with her, and then in his mind have me waiting for him at home, and then like do that to me as well, like break up with me when he goes back to uni, get back with his girlfriend, and like keep on swapping over so he would never have to be alone. I just want her for the summer. Like, how like evil do you have to be to literally go out there, straight up be looking to fuck a girl over just to have her for the summer? Keep it in mind, like, this is Bible boy. You know, the one who says you should save yourself for marriage, the one who says that God hates the gays. So apparently his principles don't actually apply to him. I ended up just forgetting about it, to be honest, until he messaged me again. And at this point, I'm just like, you have a girlfriend and you're talking to me. He had been told explicitly that I wasn't interested, but he was still going to keep on talking to me, keep on sending me terrible, terrible memes because he wanted to go ahead. Like, he was showing that he was going to go ahead with his little plan. So he was gonna put in the groundwork with me in his head and make me start to like him. And at this point I'd kind of had enough. I just messaged him and I was like, I'm really grossed out that you would act actively want to replace me with your girlfriend and vice versa. It's not okay what you're trying to do. Like, that's so disgusting. I'm pretty sure if your girlfriend knew that you were literally messaging a girl that you were previously interested in while you're with her, like, she wouldn't be happy. And he was literally like, oh my god, no, like, that's a lie. I don't know who told you that. I would never do that. Like, anyone will tell you I respect women. So keep in mind, Sophie is still up there at his university visiting her friends, and she rings me and she goes, oh my god, like, Brian is trying to call me right now because of what you said. So she's currently staying at her friend's house, and she's literally telling me that Brian has come over to her friend's house and is sat downstairs in the living room waiting for her to come downstairs. He wasn't really that good of friends with these people, and he's literally sat downstairs with them. So yeah, he ended up apologizing to me and kind of like saying it was a misunderstanding. I don't really know where the misunderstanding is. Probably him misunderstanding the fact that I would not find out. Like, even if Sophie hadn't have told me what he was gonna do, like, I would have found out anyway, and like, it just wouldn't have ended very well for him. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little story time of mine, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'll link everything down below, and I'll see you in my next video.